call me Jack Daddy. I like to build things. I figured I'd make some videos to show you guys how I build them. That's my rooster voodoo. Maybe you can learn some things. Maybe you can enjoy watching this stuff. Maybe you can build your own stuff. Alright, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how you can build your very own climbing stick out of aluminum conduit, a few pieces of aluminum scrap from the scrap yard, with the Versa button, with some ropes. It's going to be awesome. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is draw out some of your steps. So I've got a few cut out already. So these just got some holes cut in it. So that's just kind of the metal I had. Get all this stuff from the scrap yard. It's just like 1/4 inch aluminum plate. And so I just kind of measured out where I wanted it to be, enough to kind of grab onto and make sure my foot was on there. You can do whatever length you want, but that's the length that I chose. That's kind of how it looks. And then I just drew several of these on a piece of this plate, and you might can see it. And then I'm just going to take my plasma cutter, cut them out. Alright, so I got everything set up. What I'm going to do is I like to take a piece of wood, something just to make me a straight line with my plasma cutter, clamp it on there. Of course I got my ground clamp on there. And then I'll just run right by that with a plasma cutter. Take no time. Make sure you always got some good safety equipment, some good shades if you're running plasma. You can do this with a skill saw. You can get an aluminum blade for a skill saw, or you can turn a regular blade around backwards. I wouldn't recommend that, but you could, and you can do this with that. I'm just gonna use a plasma cutter because I got it. Now the next thing we're going to do is cut the parts that hook like to the tree. So if you look at a lot of them that are bought, they're all milled pieces, but you can make it stronger than those milled pieces if you can weld, obviously. And basically you just make something that looks like this. So you just want a good strong piece of angle, and you want to cut it at about a 30-degree angle, not quite a 45, about a 30, and then that way you're going to put two of these together, and then that's what we'll weld onto the back side of those tree steps going up, and that's what's going to hold the tree. And then we'll take like a grinding disc or something and just cut a few notches in there just to make it have a little bit more grip. But man, these work super well. So alright, the next thing you're going to need is just a little flat piece of aluminum. So probably like a 2-inch piece of this. That'll be our spacer. Will go into this. That you just need a good flat surface. And since we're using round aluminum conduit for our main piece, this is what's going to be holding it, holding that piece flat. I'm just going to use a portaband instead of my plasma, since this is pretty quick to just chop off a few pieces with a portaband. Thing we got to do is actually cut our sticks out of this. So this is a piece of 1-inch conduit that you can get, aluminum conduit you can get from like most electrical supply stores. And basically what I do is I cut the threads off, and then I save those for some other project. But then you know, you can measure whatever length you want. So if you got a longer stride, you might want longer lengths. That way you can get higher up the tree. If you got a shorter stride, the same, you might just need a few more, whatever. Or if you want to get real technical with it, you can measure them and have like a set of 3 or a set of 4 that are just a little bit smaller than each other. That way they stack really nice together. Alright, so now we got all our pieces cut. Everything we're going to need to build this thing is done. What we're going to do now is we're going to take like a sanding disc on our grinder and clean up all the edges so we have some good places to weld to. Pieces, we're fixing to weld them together, and basically you're going to need 3 of these kind of pieces that you cut out, and you're going to need 4 pieces like this that make up the leg or the tree mount. So you have them and they'll weld together like this on our main pole sticking up. So basically all you want to do now is space them out. So you have one at the top, one at the bottom, and then one in the middle. Like about right there, you know, and you just want to make sure they're all if you do them something like this, you just want to make sure they're all in the same orientation. You don't want them like that, you know. You want them all in the same orientation, which will be pointing up. And then we'll take this little flat piece that we cut out, and we'll weld it about, you know, middle ways between the top and the middle rung, so about right in there. And that's where we'll put our VersaPod button, or our Versa button, not VersaPod, our Versa button will be, that will be our flat surface for that. Alright, probably the trickiest part is getting these little tree mount parts on there. And the way I like to do it is just kind of spot weld one side about where it's supposed to be, and then you'll hold this side. And the way it works is you'll have, you know, your top will be tight to each other, but you'll have a gap you'll have to weld up a little bit. But see that bottom part right there, that allows you to be able to weld both sides of this thing to your main part. So it's going to be a lot stronger because you're getting both sides of those things welded onto the main pole. You just basically need to be somewhere between the top rung and the middle rung, and then you just want to weld that flat on there, and that's what we'll drill through in a minute to put our Versa button on there. Alright, so now what we got is our whole piece all welded up. You can see all the welds all the way around. You're going to be way up in a tree, you want to make sure you got some good welds on there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're going to take a little sanding disc on our grinder, just clean up all the edges, make sure there's no really rough edges where hunting clothes can get hung on, or pull up rope get snagged, you know, just anything like that. We just want to make sure everything's nice and smooth. Alright, so one thing you need to do after you get everything nice and kind of cleaned up with a sanding disc, all the rough edges, you want to take, I'm just going to use a little right angle grinder, and you're going to make some notches in this, and that's just going to help it bite the tree a little better. So you're not trying to make it like all even points and stuff like that. You just want to make some notches so it'll grip a little better than just a nice flat surface like that. So, alright, so basically you want something similar to this. Just cut several notches in there. Good to go. So this is what you're going to need for this application to do a Versa button. You're going to need some grade 8 bolts, grade 8 hardware for sure. It's just good, corrosion resistant, strong, whatever. But this is a 2.5 inch bolt, and then you got a fender washer. And that'll go on like that. And after the fender washer, you've got a bushing. This is a 1/2 inch long bushing, and we'll put the flare towards the inside, and then that will go through this. We'll put this on the back side with a lock nut on there. So that will be our Versa button. Alright, so we got the hole drilled, bolt, fender washer, bushing, through it, washer, lock nut. Okay. Now on the rope that attaches your stand to the tree goes on the Versa button. You just got about 6 or 7 feet of 7mm accessory cord, and on one end you just want to tie a loop just like that, just overhand knot with the loop, and just take time to make sure you get all your string or your rope you know, even with each other, nice, just a nice looking thing. Make sure you want to burn your ends, and then the other end is just straight. So this is the rope mod. I'm sure you guys know how it goes, but you just got your 7mm accessory cord right here. You go put your loop on one side of the Versa button, come behind this on the top, and then just kind of cinch it down, or pull it tight, cinch it down and around, and then I just tie some overhand knots, just kind of get the rope out of the way. It's not going anywhere now. And then you just give it down, and man, that thing is rock solid. It's good to go. Super quick, super easy, super safe. Can't beat it. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I make my extension. This isn't anything original. I've seen several guys like DIY Sportsman on YouTube does one. He's probably the most famous for doing it, I guess. But I'm going to show you guys just how I put it together, just kind of as a part of this video. But
Basically what I got is about 8 feet of 1 inch tubular webbing. So you can see right there, you kind of open it up, it's hollow in there, making a tube, hence tubular webbing. That's some good stuff, man. You can get it from like eBay, REI, you can get it anywhere. Just make sure you get good stuff. And then what I'm gonna do is, I got 2 pieces of like 7mm accessory cord, and I just taped them together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this down this webbing to the middle of it, and that's going to be what holds it open where my foot can sit in. Just work it down in there. It's going to be tight, but that's what makes this good. The tighter the better. That way it's going to hold it open better for your foot stirrup. Alright, so we got that worked down towards the middle, and you'll see how it hangs open like that. So that's what you want. That way it's always open for you to put your foot in, and you take your foot out, it's still open. And this is what we need to do. We need to take this in and kind of burn it so it won't fray. Same with this side. So you just take a lighter, burn it a little bit. Good to go. Alright, so now we're going to make our loop at the top, and this will allow us to put it onto the tree stand. So you're going to start with one side, just put it about 1 foot away from the end, fold that over that side, just like so, and then we're just going to take it and make an overhand knot. Just try to make sure you keep everything nice and even, you know. Just make for a better appearance. And the way we're going to do it is leave it like that, which is wide enough for our other piece to fit in. And I know some people will take it and go around their stand, but the way we built our climbing sticks is going to be a little different. So we're going to make our loop, cinch it down, and then we're going to make this fit through there, and basically just going to make another cinch knot come down, and that'll be our foot stirrup at the bottom of our stand.
Here's the extension mod. It's just what we built earlier, tubing, and what it allows you to do is put your stick way up there. So as high as you can reach with this stick, put it up there, and then you got it cinched down. You'll be able to put your foot in here, like that, climb up to the next ones, and then it'll allow you to put your next one that much higher. And then what you can do is take this puppy off and go to the house, and then leave the rest of them up there, and nobody will be able to hunt it because it's too high. So unless they're willing to, you know, shimmy up that joker and get up there. But you know, like public land, that's really good. Maybe you got a club with some sneaky people on there, that's really good. Maybe you just got that honey hole, you don't want that one guy to come shoot your deer out of your stand. It's really good. Also, it's good to hang your cameras up high. So what I'll do is I'll take this with me, and I'll put my cameras up high, not just for theft, but also like when you get those cameras up out of the kind of the line of sight of deer, they feel a lot more comfortable and moving around. So this mod right here is a game changer when it comes to hunting and getting those game pictures.